Right now I'm located in famous Russian shop which is called Magnet, and I wanted to make a warning video for those foreigners who are coming to Russia. No matter if you are gonna stay here long time or short time, there is such thing as food, and you have to eat something here. And yesterday I checked the internet. There is very little or nothing on English YouTube channel about this problem, and this is why I decided to make this video. Plus one Italian guy contacted me recently and said he wanna meet with me, he wanna talk with me on some other topics, and I thought it could be useful to inform him as well, because he's staying here for 3 months, and I think no one will tell him about this problem. But I know about it. I made a research long time ago, and personally, I never visit this kind of network supermarkets because it's unsafe. But at least I have an alternative. I can go to farmers. I can plant my own vegetables. I can buy fresh meat, unlike this meat, which is not really good. I do not recommend to anyone. But now I'm not talking about meat. I'm talking about another very serious problem, which is called palm oil. Palm oil. I know you could argue with me about this palm oil, because palm oil not only in Russia, it exists also in Europe, I know, but the problem is some dangerous compounds which is called glycidyl esters, and these glycidyl esters cause crab disease. Also recently I saw some news, in particular famous Russian lawyer who lives in Moscow, and he got this crab disease. He has a lot of money. He is quite rich, but he lives in Moscow, and he has no other choice. And he goes to shops like this and eat poisoned food like this. So, speaking about palm oil, now I think 90% of the food contains this palm oil. But speaking of Russia, you know that in Russia we have very high inflation. So it means products become very expensive in our currency. But salary does not grow so fast. So people earn the same or less, or maybe a little bit more, but prices increase much faster than their salary. They have to eat something. And how would our government solve this problem? The solution is really easy. The solution is to buy the cheapest palm oil from Southeast Asia, the cheapest one, and make cheap dairy products. So I'm talking now and warning you about dairy products, in particular bakery, sweets, milk. So you have to be careful with these things. Personally, I never buy them in supermarkets like this, and other places as well. I don't recommend, because if it is allowed on legislation level, why would not you do it? If it's allowed legally, you could buy the cheapest palm oil somewhere underground and then add it into your product. Your product will become really cheap. You could earn a lot more money, and who cares about someone else's health? if you can earn a lot of money without violating any law here in Russia. And this is how they solve this problem. So, if we compare Europe and Russia, there is this glycidyl esters in refined palm oil. Refined palm oil always contains glycidyl esters, which cause cancer. The difference between Europe and Russia, there is strict control for these toxic compounds in Europe. It is prohibited if there is high concentration of glycidyl esters in this palm oil. It is prohibited in Europe. But in Russia, no one controls it. You can add any kind of palm oil into dairy products, into your bakery, into cheese as well, another dangerous products. Chocolate, by the way, in this product composition, they like to confuse you. They write something like vegetable fat. Vegetable fat is alternative for palm oil. Alternative allowed name. So you have to be careful. All the chocolate in Russia contains palm oil. This is number one. All the milk in Russia contains palm oil. All the cheese. So, but the problem is that they don't write it directly on the cheese. They write it simply made of milk. Made of milk. They don't say what kind of milk and how they made this milk. They make it from powdered milk plus palm oil. This is how they make all the milk here. And why do they do this? They do it for one reason. Because it is profitable. Expiry date becomes longer. It means you can keep it very long time here. Plus it becomes really cheap. And this is the reason why it is so. The reason is profit. And it is allowed by our authorities. It is a big business. And no one gonna stop it. But I have to inform you, I have to give you this warning. First, milk, there is no natural milk in Russia. You can only find it somewhere from farmers, from private people, from private farms, but in shops like this, there is no natural milk. There is no natural cheese. It is all made with palm oil, technical palm oil, with glycidyl esters, which is really toxic. And if you eat food like this for quite a while, then it is very likely you could get a crab disease. Like this famous lawyer, by the way, you can check by yourself, Anton Sarvachov, his name, Anton Sarvachov. He got this crab disease. So, be careful while visiting Russia. Even though products are cheap, food is cheap. But there is a reason for that. There is a reason. The reason is really good profit. And they don't care about your health, and they don't care what happens to you in the future. Okay? See you later.